All right, welcome to another episode of Asset Coach and Tax Strategist. And so what I thought I'd do in this episode is kind of just we're not going to go through an article. We're just going to go through kind of a basic dialogue, an explanation. And so we're on the hunt for 100 subscribers. We're very close. At the time of this recording, we're at 86. Now, 100 subscribers doesn't sound like a lot. But for us, it is a lot. Why? Because that means that there are people here that are following us, that are listening to us, that are going through our process and wanting to spend their time as we share our content and share our information and try to be part of your lives by just an average business owner sitting here looking at his situation of saying, how do I read through articles? How do I look at the current talk and the current media and the current dialogue of what's out there? And how am I supposed to understand stuff? And so that's kind of the whole purpose of being an asset coach and tax strategist is saying, hey, I've got all this knowledge. I've got 22, 23 years of business, investment, real estate, insurance, taxes, you name it, of experience. And I realize that you and I as business owners, we work with professionals, but they're usually very segmented in a particular specialty or experience or expertise. And so I found, they talk about the riches are in the niches, and so which is a catchy phrase and a catchy term. But what does that mean to me as a business owner? Well, for me, I saw that there was a need. The value of business is finding a need. And so if you remember a long time ago when there were bookstores, and I would sit there at a Barnes and Noble, and I would sit there and watch people go to the business section or the investment section. They'd look at books, they'd pick up the books, and what would they do? They'd go to the back cover or the inside flaps and say, oh, and some would walk off with the book and purchase it, and some would put it back on and keep looking. And then I realized myself, when I've read these books, what was my issue? Taking that knowledge and implementing it. How do I implement? Well, I have 22 plus years today of information, knowledge. I know how to implement a lot of that information. And there's some new stuff and there's some very interesting stuff. But I also know how to look at this new stuff and this interesting stuff and say, how do I research how to implement this? This is what I like to do. This is what I've made my business to be as, why I call myself an asset coach and tax strategist. But I realize that a lot of other people don't. They don't have the time, but not just the time. They may not have the desire or the interest to know more. They're looking for that pill, right? I want to lose weight. What pill can I take? What's the secret to being rich, right? All these books and all these tag phrases, clickbait, for you and I to get the secret. Well, here's the secret. Hard work, dedication, persistency. Hasn't changed from the beginning to now. It's the same. Now, there may be a few people who've struck gold with the first swing of the axe. Awesome. That's great. They got to benefit off the shoulders and the hard work and the struggle of the person before them. Who's the person before him? The person who quit. The person who quit too soon. The person who said, I can't do this. They allowed the devil to talk negative talk into their mind, and they decided to quit on themselves. And one more swing of the axe could have been that benefit. Now, there's some people who, again, just show up. They say, I want to do this. They take one swing of the axe. They got that vein of gold. God bless them. That's good for them. Okay. But what do they do with the gold? What do they do with the rest of their life? Right? And that's what we do. That's what I do. Is how my niche, my expertise is to be the hub of all the spokes. We have all this information. How do I get all this to work? Because here's what I found out with business owners, and not just business owners. This is what I found out with most people who decide to listen and save, whether it's in real estate, in the stock market, in insurance products, in a pillowcase, or their sock drawer, whatever it is. They've been very disciplined and saved money. Now they have these pools of assets, and they're sitting here going, now what? What do I do with this? Great question. Because when you started to the save. You started this process of building these assets. You changed, you evolved during this period of time, but you stayed disciplined. You continued to do it. And now you're at a different stage in your life and you're sitting here figuring out, oh my goodness, what do I do? What's all this information? Now I have something to lose. So now I got to be a little more mindful and thoughtful of decisions I'm going to make. And so all of a sudden creates fear because now you have something to lose, where before it's like, I just got to save. You put your head down, you just did it, and all of a sudden you had something. Why? Because life distracted you. You were busy with family, kids, your career, building a business, church, whatever that thing was or is, or things. So, as a coach and tax strategist, my goal and reason why I go through these articles is say, hey, this is information. That's all it is. But it could actually cause more harm than good, because it may be that last piece of information you're like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm I'm tapping out. I'm not swinging that axe anymore. So that's what my goal for Asset Coach and Tax Strategist YouTube channel is, to provide just a little bit of more information. Okay. To clear out some of that chaos and to talk to you directly and say, you can do this. Swing the axe one more time. Great. You've been swinging the axe and now you've built up all this gold. Now what do I do with it? Because I'm at a different stage and I just don't know what to do. There's a lot of information out there. Do I follow Susie Orman? Do I follow Dave Ramsey? Do I follow Robert Kiyosaki, or do I Grant Cardone? Or who do I follow? This real estate guy, this investment guy? Do I buy gold and silver? Do I buy crypto? Do I just bury it all? What do I do? And that is what we're trying to hope to do, is provide a little more information. Now, if you don't know what to do and you're confused and you want to have a dialogue and talk about your situation, feel free to. Our information's in the bottom. In fact, I'm going to have my team post the email here to this video and send us an email. Say, Bob, I'm interested. I'm curious. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I don't need to know your first and last name. I don't need to know your social security. I don't need to know your passwords or your codes. What I would like to know is, hey, I'm married, got adult kids. I've saved up in my 401k plan for the last 30 years. Planning on retiring in the next 2 to 3 years. My wife's already retired and I just don't know what to do this next step. Can you help? Or, Bob, I'm a business owner. Yeah, I'm married. I've got kids. They're in the business. They're not in the business. I've been a business owner. This is what I do. And man, I'm just at that point where I feel like I'm on this hamster wheel. I just can't get ahead, but I know that I can. And I just don't know what to do. And something else to that effect. Reach out. We'll have a dialogue. Spend 30 minutes. Figure out what are you trying to accomplish? What do you want to do? Right? I would love to dedicate my time to assist you in that. Okay. Now, you have to be in the United States. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but we don't do anything outside the United States. But if you're in the United States, shout out to me. Let us know. Would love to be able to help you out in any way that we can and point you in a direction that may be the best direction for you to go. And that may be, you know what? You're whining. Stop whining. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Knuckle bump. Work it. Or it could be, wow, yeah, no. I understand your situation. Here, you need to talk to this type of person. Or you should probably look into that. Okay. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. But wouldn't it be nice and helpful that as you're going down the road and you may feel like you're lost, you stop off and ask for a little direction to get that direction? Doesn't mean that guy, that person, that lady jumps in your car and follows you until you get to that destination. Just to point me in a direction. Love to help. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much for joining us. I just thought, hey, as we push to 100 members, big deal for us. Big deal. We're not trying to get to 100. And quite honestly, I'm doing this because I want to do this. I find this to be fun. I'm doing this for myself. This is very helpful and educational and therapeutic for myself. if some of you decide to go along on this ride with me, awesome. You're right. We'll just get a bigger bus if we need to get a bigger bus. Love to go on this journey by myself or with a group of people. Either way, I'm blessed. I'm enjoying it. Make it a great day. God bless. Bye bye.